Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorothy. In today's video we'll be learning the making of this beautiful dress you can see in this video. It is a continuation of the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous one, I will leave the link of the previous video in the description box. Please make sure you watch that video before you watch this one. This will help you to understand the content better. To my 50+ family, thank you so much for subscribing and engaging in this channel. You all are my rock. God bless you. And if you are coming across this channel for the first time, you are welcome. And if you want to be part of this family, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified to when I drop new video. Now let's get started. So guys, these are my pieces. I have iron paper stay on the wrong face of my fabric, and I also iron wording on the bust area. This will help my pieces to have a little bit of strength, and the wording will bring out the shape of the bust. So I will place my front piece one side, and I'll also do the same thing for the back piece. I will iron paper stay on my fabric, then I would also do the same thing for the lining piece. So I'll place my back piece and the lining aside, then let's work on my front pieces. These are my front pieces that I will be working on. So right now I'll just go ahead and place one side of my side front on this one like so. Then I'll go ahead to use my office pin to hold it together. I will also repeat the same process for the second side. This is how it come out after tacking it with my pin. It will also come out even much better after sewing it. I will repeat the same process for my lining piece. I will go on and place one side of my piece on the other center front like so. Then I will use my pin to hold it together. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine to sew it for about 0.5 inch. For my back pieces, I will place my fabric and my lining like so. Then I'll take it to my sewing machine to sew the neckline of 0.5 inches, and I'll also go ahead to sew the two sides. Okay guys, I am done sewing my princess dart as you can see. So next on, I will go ahead to notch the curvy area. Then I will take it to my ironing table and iron it flat. This will help the princess dart come out really well and clean. And I will also be doing the same thing for my lining piece. I'm done sewing the two back pieces. Right now I'll just go ahead to notch the neck area. After notching, I will go on to turn it to the right face, then I will give it a very good pressing. In every stitching, please make sure that you iron your fabric. It will make the work look very neat. For the color, I use a pink bridal satin fabric. You can use silk or duchess fabric, and also use any color you want. So I use my pattern pieces to cut out the fabric, then I iron stay on it. After ironing my paper stay, as you can see, I will go on to sew the side as you see me directing like this. After sewing the side that you see me directed, I will go on to open the piece, then I'll give it a very good press. So guys, next on, I will place my collar on the neckline of my front piece like so. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and run a stitch of about 0.5 inches. After sewing my collar to the neckline of my front piece, next on I'll just go on to place my lining piece right side facing each other. Then I'll go ahead to use my pin to tack it down. Then I'll go on to sew the neckline and also the two sides. After fixing my lining to the main fabric, I'll just go ahead and notch the neck area. When I'm done notching, I'll go ahead to flip it open, then give it a very good ironing. After ironing our front piece, you can see how beautiful, how neat it is looking already. So right now, we'll just go ahead to attach the skirt to the front piece. So guys, I'll just go ahead to lay the front piece of my skirt like so. Then I'll go on to bring my half length of the front piece as well. Then I'll place it on the skirt, right side facing each other. Then I will go on to sew about ½ inch. I will do the same thing for my back pieces as well. After joining my half length and the skirt part of the dress together, next on I will go ahead and join my two back pieces right side facing each other. I will make sure that I arrange the fabric very well, all my pieces together like so very well. Then I will go on to mark about 1.5 inches that I left for zipper allowance. Then I will go ahead to mark it all the way around to where I want the zipper to stop. Then I will take it to the sewing machine and run a temporal stitch on it. This dress is going to have a slit at the back, so I went on to mark about 12 inches for the slit opening. Then I marked that out. Okay guys, I am done running a temporal stitch on my zipper allowance, as you can see. So next on, I will go ahead to place my front pieces and my back piece together, right side facing each other. Then I'll go ahead to mark out my remaining body measurements, which are my bust, my underbust, my hip, and my waist, my hip, and the length of the dress. Now let's place our horizontal measurement. My bust is 36. I'll divide my bust by 2, which is 18. Then I went ahead to mark that out. Then on my underbust is 30. I'll divide 30 by 2. I had 15. So I'll make sure I place my tape rule very well properly. Then I'll go ahead to mark that out as well. I will also do the same thing for the waist. I divide my waist measurement by 2. My waist is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. So I went on to mark out 16 inches, as you can see me doing like this. On my hip line, you can see the faint line down pointed like so. So I'll go ahead to divide my hip measurement by 2. My hip is 40 divided by 2. I had 20. So I'll go on to place my tape rule properly. Then I'll go on to mark it out. Then I'll use my chalk to connect the line like so. On the length of the dress, I'll go ahead and place my waist measurement there, but I will be adding 2 extra inches for ease. Remember, I placed 16 inches for my waist, plus the 2 extra inch will be 18. So right now I will mark out the 18 inches like so. Then I will use my chalk to connect the lines together like so. To join our shoulder, I'll place the front piece of my shoulder like so and place it in between the back one. Then I'll use the lining of the back piece and cover up at the front. Then I'll go on to the sewing machine and join it. So guys, let's go on to fix our zipper. I wanted to use this invisible zip, but later on I changed my mind and I used the normal zip. So I'll just place my zip right side facing each other, then I'll go on to sew. The sleeve of the dress I am making are 2 sleeves. One is a basic sleeve and the other is a bell sleeve. So I will go on to fold my lace fabric like this. I will measure 24 inches for the sleeve length, and the width that I folded is about 10 inches. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. This is the pieces I will be working with. So I will measure and mark 5 inches for my bicep. I don't know why my chalk is not chalking. I even changed chalk, but still, or is it my fabric? Please guys, just bear with me. After marking my bicep measurements, I will use freehand to curve the armhole of the sleeve. The armhole I am working with is 19 inches, so I will go on to mark that out. So after tracing it like so, I will use my tape rule to measure it if it is the same thing with that of my fabric. My elbow measurement is 12, then I divided it by 2, which is 6 inches. So I'll place my tape rule like so and I mark out 7. I added 1 inch for extra allowance. Then for the length of the sleeve, which is my rigs, I divided my rigs by 2. My rigs is 7 divided by 2. I had 3.5. I marked that out, then I added 1 inch allowance. So in total I just marked 5 inches. Then I will go ahead to just connect the line, or all the point I'll mark, I'll just connect it out like so. Then I will go ahead and cut it out. For the second sleeve, which is the bell sleeve, the fabric that I am using is so small. It is a crepe fabric, so I had to cut and join. So what I did was cut my basic sleeve pattern just like I did for my lace fabric, but for this one it will stop at my elbow, which is 13 inches. And for the scrap pieces, I have also cut it out. The width is 14 inches and the length is 12 inches. That makes a total of 25 inches for the length of the sleeve, which is okay. This is how the sleeve will look when I join the two pieces together. So next on, I will fold my sleeve like so. Then I will take it to the sewing machine and sew the side. For this piece, I will fold the side by half an inch in. Then I will go on to sew it. Okay guys, I am done sewing my sleeve side, and I have also done the same thing for my pieces. I have sewed the two sides also as well. I will fold this piece together like this, then I will notch the midpoint. And for the sleeve, I will turn it to the right face. After turning it to the right face, you see this mark, this ironing mark, that's the midpoint, and also the midpoint of these pieces. I will place the midpoint of those pieces to the midpoint of my sleeve, then I will use my pin to hold it together. I will arrange my pieces and use my pins to pin them all the way around. I hope you understand. If not, backward and rewatch it again. It's super easy. This is how the sleeve will come out when I'm done sewing it. So I will go ahead and sew it on my sewing machine. Okay guys, I am done sewing the sleeve. You can see how beautiful and how neat the sleeve is forming. I will do the same thing for the second sleeve. And for this part, I will go ahead and fold it in off about half an inch, then I'll sew it. Now let's attach the sleeve to the dress. So on my dress, I went ahead to open my armhole area, as you can see. Then I will go on to notch the midpoint of my sleeve. From the point I join my shoulder, I will place the point I notch on my sleeve like this, right sides facing each other. Then I will use my office pin to hold them together. I will go ahead and arrange the sleeve to my armhole line on my dress. Then I'll use my pin to hold it all the way around. I will also do the same thing for the second sleeve. If you have watched this video to this point, please like this video, and also leave a comment. That is to tell the algorithm that you appreciate this content, and it is going to push this content to more people so that they can also benefit from this, especially beginners in the fashion world and those who are fashion enthusiasts that love to sew. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and welcome to the family. Then for this second sleeve, I will go ahead and fold my lace like so, then I will notch the midpoint. Then from this midpoint that I notch on my lace sleeve, I will go ahead and place that midpoint on my shoulder line of my dress, just like I did for the first sleeve. I will place it right side facing each other, then I will use my office pin to hold it together. This is how our sleeve will look like when I am done sewing it. So right away, I'll take it to the sewing machine and go and sew it. Okay guys, I am done sewing our sleeve. You can see how beautiful and how neat our dress is. So right now, I'll just go ahead and fold the length of the dress. Okay guys, this is all about the dress. I am done sewing the length of the dress. So this is it. You can see how beautiful it is. If you watch this video up to this point, thank you for sticking by. Thank you for watching the video, and also please share this video. Thank you.